Schedule management. Let's start something like this. In the shared folder of ShriLearning, you should have seen something called exam content outline. Have anyone seen that exam content outline?
Yes.
Your
Yes.
your
Yes.
exam is primarily based on exam content outline. Exam content outline is every 5 years or 4 years published by PMI. I just took a small screenshot of it. This PDF is there in your shared folder. Should be 15 or 16 pages. Should I memorize it? No, no, no. Let's be very careful. How the US or some of the European university work is, they will give an outline to you. Outline means bullet points, this areas. After seeing the outline, it's your choice. Out of university, you can go any book, anything in the world you can read. Come back, exam, you can sit and write. Some university even allow open book. You can sit and write the open book exams. It's a very common in US and European universities. Idea here is they'll give an outline. It's your wish what book you want to read. If you go to Asia, Southeast Asia, somewhere like India, it's a more of a bookish knowledge where they tell the book, this chapter, this line, and I'll ask in this question. People mug it up, clear the exam, 99.9. Yay! Still knowledgeable. I'm not denying that. If not, we don't produce this many CEOs in the world, more knowledgeable people. But the point is, why I'm saying this is when you go to exam, your exam is not based on the books. If anyone feels that read a book, I'll mug it up, I'll clear the exam, I'm sure something wrong there. I'll mug up PMBOK, I'll clear the exam, something wrong there. However, these books are good book. I'm not denying that. So, point is, you have something called exam content outline. This outline is being explained by around 17 or 18 books, which PMI recommended, which will go around 2000 pages of content. Now, what I want to say here, in your Rita 11th edition book, they took this exam content outline, made a juice out of it. That is what you see in every chapter. However, if you don't understand a particular topic, don't rely only on Rita 11. You talk to somebody in the field. If it is a schedule management related question, I'll talk to somebody working in a plan-driven project, someone working in Agile. I'll understand from them in the ground how it's working. So get the knowledge from the books. Also get some practical knowledge. Your exam is going to be more practical. Okay, that's a message. Now, look at this picture. Help me where you see schedule management.
Sixth point.
Number 6. Okay.
Point
Even though
6.
it's a very old image, it is giving something to us saying that planning should be done properly. You see a huge amount of items in the planning, right? That vertical, planning vertical. Let's go to this picture. You remember this picture sometime back? You see this? You understood why we do, what we do, how we do. So, in which place I should start this estimation? In why, what, how? Where should I start?
Why?
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 How
Uh,
and when?
you do estimation when you do what?
How?
How and
When?
when?
How and
What?
when?
All right. Why is a motivation? That place you will not talk about estimation, isn't it? Why is a motivation? Right. So
I think
you.
it's how
and what?
once we know how to do it, how can we estimate?
Fantastic. So now, as you see this picture, you have certain constraints in project management. These constraints are nothing but limitations. The limitations which say this is the money we have, this is the people we have, this is the quality you have to follow, certain rules and norms are there. Now, let's come back to the point here. When I say why, what, and how, all three will contribute for the estimation. We can't deny that. It will contribute. But without knowing what to do, estimating is a bit challenging, right? That's why we make a rough estimation at the high level. Business case, contract, we make a rough estimation. After rough estimation, you get more information. The more the information you get, better you estimate. Not every project has as a luxury. Not every project has a luxury of collecting all the information. So today we will see plan-driven, also agile. In agile, some cases you don't even know exactly what you're going to do. So you have to rely on something called a relative estimation. You have to rely on a rough estimation. That's what you have to go. Let's see step by step. In the left corner of this picture, you are seeing something. What is this called as?
WBS.
Work breakdown
Breakdown structure.
structure. Right? Very good. Nice. So in work breakdown structure, what is the level where I can have a collection of activities?
Work package.
Work package. Very good. So I'm sure the font is a bit small. I'll try to put it. If you see here, there is a package here. If you see that, right? Package. Indoor play area. It's a package. Infant room is a package. Very good. In infant room, you want to bring security entry. You want to become temperature control. These are all activities. Now, activities is the low level, which means it's a small level piece of work. Now, what is happening here is the define activities is a process through which, in a project management, I will take each work package, sit with my team, sit and talk. What all activities can happen? People give me, somebody will tell this. If I say infant room, in this room, do you think only this activity number 1, activity number 2, is it sufficient to make this room ready?
No,
There will be another activities.
more.
Give me 1 or 2. You are in a hospital. The infant room, baby room is getting ready. Give me 1 or 2 by your own knowledge.
Furniture, lighting,
Hygiene.
Okay. Furniture, I'm hearing. Then what?
Hygiene.
Aha.
I think attached washroom will be required, maybe.
Okay.
And
Washrooms needed.
basic
Thank you.
play area.
So now point is, we are telling about our own knowledge, right? How much you can tell. You will tell another 5, 6 points. Beyond that, you will feel you are exhausted. You may not know certain things. Now, can I bring somebody called SME here?
Yes.
yes,
Who is an SME? Who is an SME?
Subject matter.
Somebody who may
Subject
call a
matter,
subject.
correct.
Fantastic.
Everything about infant.
Exactly right. So this guy will give me number of items. Can I also look at some historical information, old projects?
Yes.
That also will give me
Yes.
some idea.
Yes.
That also right. It'll give me idea. Now, after you get the list of items, let's imagine in the infant room, you gave me, let's say, 100 items. I'm just giving, okay, 100 items. In 100 items, the moment I get the 100 items, can I start the estimation right away? How long it will take to complete?
Yes.
Maybe you can do that. But before that, a logical way, in the last 100, 200, 5,000 years, what they do is first they sequence it. Because they don't put the time right now. They're only first to see which has to go first, which has to go second. There's something called predecessor, successor. If anyone heard about those words, predecessor, successor. A should
Yes.
happen, then the B should happen, after C should happen. Look at here, there is nothing, time is given, nothing about who will do given is. So it doesn't talk about who. It won't talk about who. It won't even talk about how long it will take, right? In the sense of duration. We didn't talk about duration. We didn't talk about who will do it. We are just putting logically connection. I think you should know that, right? Logically. If an infant room, I will say that first the flooring should be done. And you will tell, no, Shri, first the painting should be done. And somebody will tell, no, Shri, first we have to put electrical wire, isn't it? So we will see the logical connection between these activities. Why we have to find the logical connection? Why we have to find the logical connection?
To find out
Because
sequence,
interdependencies of the activities.
Dependencies. Very good. Very good. You start understanding dependency. It's very good, right? Also, it gives an idea. Did we miss anything here in the whole project work? Isn't it? When you put a WBS itself, you get a fair idea. Okay, infant room means 25 bullet points. At least you get an idea. That's also one of the reason we draw the picture. When you put a network diagram, you get a little more clarity, the dependency. Also, you come to know what is in, what is out. Yeah, some idea you get. Now, we should do something called a duration. What duration means as per you, your understanding?
Time to complete. Time to complete one project. Sorry,
time
activity.
required
much
to
time?
complete one
How long?
activity.
How long? This how long is this based on the person who is going to work. Do we estimate like that? For example, I have 2 people. I have John. I also have Dave. When I estimate, should I estimate keeping John in mind or Dave in mind? How should I estimate?
There should
We
be a
should
productivity.
activity in the mind.
Work in mind, work, actual time of the work.
Work
You have to
and the
keep
set
the
process
work
in
in
mind.
mind. How long generally this work will take? That is how we should estimate, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
We should not see from John perspective. We should not see from Dave perspective. How long the flooring work will take? How long the painting work will take? By the way, I'm talking only plan driven. I'll come to Agile in a few minutes. And then you put everything together, you get a packet out of it. See, that easy it is? Not that easy. Let's see one by one right now how it works. It's not that easy what I showed now. This picture, you should be familiar already. Let's not beat the bush again. Let's go forward. This is a picture of how the WBS will look like from PMI. You're seeing something called activity list. I think by now your brain captured activity means small piece of work. We can say like that, small piece of work. Let's go a little more down because activities are needed to estimate properly. Now, this picture also will be a little bit understood for you because we learned something called a network diagram. There is a term which I marked in a yellow color font which says logical relationships. A question to you, in a project, who can help to give this logical relationship? Who will have a knowledge?
SME.
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 Okay.
And past data.
SME and the one maybe we have the one who had executed the project in the past. Maybe that can also help.
Historical
Historical
okay.
data.
Historical data.
Should I
Planning.
involve team here? Should I involve the team here in a plan-driven project? Is it worth?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can ask the
Possible, right?
activity.
Possible.
Yeah, possible.
But not too much into that because sometime you cannot come to a conclusion. You should know how to facilitate these meetings. Huh?
I mean, schedule should be in one hand, but yes, input should come from the various disciplines, and that should be compiled in one charter.
Exactly. You put things. It's a long exercise, you know. For our imagination, if I go back, this kind of hospital, it is not going to be only these 5 or 8 bullet points. Will it have at least 500 points? 500 small pieces like this?
Yes.
If a 500 pieces, every piece, if I sit with my team, I think I will lose all my time. So sometime I have to use my historical information. Sometime I use my team members. Sometime I have to use SME. Sometime I have to go by guesstimate. Have you heard of guesstimates? Estimate, guesstimate. Yeah, we mix it, right? You cannot tell no, Shri, I will follow only one route. No, that's not the way, right? You have to mix all. But what is the best out of it? Let's see out of it, huh? This whole process of putting a diagram is called PDM. What is PDM as per this image slide? Where is PDM?
Down.
Precedence
diagram.
Very good, right? It says precedence diagramming method, as simple. It says precedence diagramming method, predecessor, successor. Okay. But how it's going to help me, Shri? How it's going to help me? Let's see that. Now, somebody rightly said a few minutes back, the whole purpose of putting this predecessor successor is to identify a word called dependency, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, I'm going to give you a few seconds. First, read 2 words, mandatory, discretionary. First, read this carefully. Then we'll go to last 2. First, read the first top 2. Very good. Can you see a red color font, which means mandatory is also has another name called hard logic. In exam question paper, if you see a hard logic, you shouldn't be surprised. You should know that these guys are calling mandatory as hard logic, another name for it. The same goes to discretionary. You will see a soft logic. Okay, let's understand this a little more better. In a project like an hospital, like your PMP project, there are certain mandatory dependencies which you cannot ignore it. That can even delay your project. That can even clearly define what time your project will be done. Give me an example from your PMP project. You started the class a few weeks back. You're going to write the exam 1 or 2 months from now. Tell me one mandatory dependency in your whole project.
Getting 70% in the mock test.
70% in the mock tests. Okay. Okay.
35
That's a
35
good.
hours PDU.
35 hours
PDUs. Paid use. Very good. Nice. Well said. Well good. I'll give one more example for you. Your PMP application should be approved by PMI. Is it mandatory or discretionary?
Mandatory.
What if that mandatory dependency is not satisfied? What will happen to your project?
Project will go ahead.
It will delay.
Failure.
Yes, your project can be delayed or derailed. So PMI can do two things. One, then they can ask you more questions when you submit the application. They can even reject your application. Are you aware of that? They can reject your application. See, rejection is different. Asking questions are different. Auditing is different. Rejection means, no, I don't want to give you exam authorization itself. But see how to solve it. Yeah, we have a way. Don't worry. ShriLearning knows how to solve it. But the point here is, a mandatory dependency can be good, which you wait, you get it, you can move forward. It can even derail your project. Is it possible? Which is not in your control. Then give me another example for your PMP exam itself. Tell me one example for discretionary, the best practice.
Time management. Clearing 75% of mock test is discretionary.
Discretionary, right? One people will tell, no, Shri, 65 is good for me. I'll go for exam. One person says, no, 75. It is their choice, right? Nice, a good example. I'll put another example on this. You can write your PMP exam in a center-based exam. You can also write the exam from your computer at your home. Can I keep that as discretionary? Your choice.
Yes.
Best practice. Now let's slowly turn this towards your company projects. In your company projects, you will have something called odd logic, which means there are certain documentations, certain deliverables should be approved, or certain vendor should complete Six Sigma standard. Without that, the deliverable will not go out. And there is something called go, no go gate in your company. Have you seen those things? Mandated dependencies. It should happen. If a Six Sigma is not this number, we will not allow it. Could be there. Possible, right? In your company. There could be something in your company discretionary, which means a couple of approvals needed. But there is an exception. Without this approval, also we can start the work. There could be certain things should be tested. Then it has to go to department B. And sometimes it says, let's go to department B, testing can happen parallelly, which means there is a possibility of certain things can be upgraded, modified. Now, question to you. In your company projects, which dependency is handling tricky? Is it mandatory dependency is tricky or discretionary dependency is tricky from your job experience?
Discretionary.
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 Okay. Let's listen both of them. One said mandatory. Why mandatory is tricky for you? If you want to give some thought.
That needs to be completed.
Should be completed. Very good. But that's also an advantage, right? Should be completed means I know that. So I will allocate some work. I allocate people. I allocate a time, and I'm clearly aware that as per my dependency, if you go back, it's very clear, right? I know that. Here I will tell blue should be done, then only red will start or orange will start. I'm very clear. Okay. I'll leave that point. I'll go to discretionary people. Any one of you want to say why discretion is tricky?
Because in mandatory, there is no other option. We have to do it. So it's straightforward, sort of. And in discretionary, there are multiple options. And to align everyone on one side will be difficult.
But discretion also gives you flexibility, right? You can even delay that. You can even postpone it. You can even change the date. That's an advantage also there.
Yes, but the point is like agreeing all the stakeholders on one option is a little tricky, actually.
All right. So now I cannot conclude whether which is tricky, both, because it depends on your project. It depends on your company governance framework. There is something called governance. Your company governance sometimes allows to do A instead of B. Some company governance will not allow that. Line dot is a dot. You have to be there. So you really should play within your company governance. Have you heard about this governance? Project governance, organization governance. That's what you're going to play. So now the managers are so smart, like you, who will play between these two items. some of you every day play with this, but you don't know that's called mandatory discretionary. Is it true for some of you here? You do every day, but you don't even know that it's called mandatory discretion, right? Yeah, that's a point. Now, this both the parameter goes to two other words using external and internal. Now take a moment. Can I say mandatory can be external, internal? Is it possible? Possible, right?
Yes.
In the company,
Yes,
possible.
yes.
Can I
For
say discretionary also be external, internal?
yes,
Possibly. Yeah.
yes.
So now point is you can get both external, internal for mandatory and discretionary. Now many projects timeline, your execution is highly driven by the term called dependency. So in estimation, we have to keep this in our mind. How dependency will delay or benefit my project. Yeah, both we have to see. By the way, I'm still not getting into Agile. I'm talking on a plan-driven project. But when I go to Agile, this dependency also will play there. Yeah, let's look at that.